So here we go, people. It's that time. It's that wonderful time where we acknowledge the beautiful people that support us every single month over on patreon.com/Yumi Capri. We start off with the gold members, Mr. Brendan Myers, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Ryan Turford, Coach Timbo, Sheldon Benedict, Joel Brooks, my cousin Dawn Becker. Thank you so much, Dawn. Platinum producers, Nasty Boots and Tammy. Thank you, guys. Diamond executive producers, Mr. Robbie Bobby Miller, Lee Navarro, Corey Hicks, and Jonathan Brown, the Purple Monkey himself. Time for the show.
Let's face it, as Nintendo fans, we are often left slightly disappointed and scratching our heads asking why. Where is our Super Mario Galaxy 3? Why isn't Metroid out yet? Bring back the Ice Climber, seriously, and what were you thinking with the Virtual Boy? Well, sit back as Sean Capri and Bobby Pauls do just that. That's right, this is...
If We Ran Nintendo.
Now, cue the music, maestro.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 163 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, it's morning time here again,
I love it.
It's good stuff. But I was worried about how I was gonna pull this off. But I got my coffee here, and the second that you said "What is up," like my energy just like instantly perks up, man. So I hope it's the same for everybody listening. It's all like you got your day, the grind is at it, and you're going at it, and then you're going, you know what? This is home. If you're at Nintendo,
Dude, it is ideal for the mornings.
It's nice
because seriously, like this just
it's nice.
Feels better. It feels better to have you having a cup of coffee. Like we
got
can't
a big
do
old
that.
Donkey Kong barrel mug. Yeah, man. I haven't even made coffee. That's the thing. Like if it's at night, like I'm bringing home coffee from like McDonald's or something. Like it's too early. I can't get out at McDonald's. I can't leave this house and go for a drive.
Well,
you know how much snow is on the ground at this time in Canada?
I went to Wawa.
You went to
There's
Wawa?
There's not snow on the ground.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, what the
I'd like
hell,
to send out this disillusioned purview of a perspective of Canada, where the days work differently. It's not just seasons for us. It's not like we have winter season, but the days are different. That's Mark Carabin and I are gonna have to work on this. But how are you, man? It's good to see you.
I am well, man. I am fantastic.
You look glowing. Your skin looks good.
Great, man.
Yeah?
I really am. I really want to. Well, listen. Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shoutouts.
Geek outs. Yes, Bobby. I just showed you on my phone. I've got Lego Tower. It's like the old mini tower games. I got all my people working in their places. And the people in the building. They're made out of Lego pieces.
Nobody
and
cares, Toby.
I'm actually spending money on this mobile game.
You should have said that on the air.
I
we should
shouldn't
clip
have.
that. Somebody clip that and tag Chelsea in that so she can come beat him up for wasting his child's college fund on that stupid mobile game.
He's gonna be $4 short on his college.
That kid is brilliant already, man.
I know, man.
I watch his like Instagram stuff,
mm-hmm.
and I go, I just want to live this little MFer's life.
Hey, he's good.
Like, dude, he's got the greatest. And my first shout out goes to Chelsea.
Yeah,
seriously. For number one.
Put up with me.
I put a tweet out earlier last week, I think, thanking her for allowing us to move this. Because, granted, it's a matter of you and I just shifting the times. But if she's not willing to wake up early with the kids on a Sunday, another day that she's got to get up early with the kids
mm-hmm.
to allow us to do this, it doesn't even happen.
Yep.
But not on top of that, like when I look at the life that Link is living through Instagram,
mm-hmm.
I just go, this woman literally plans, like she is the perfect stay-at-home mother.
She loves being a mom. Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Everything
dude,
these kids have is because of her.
And the thing is like you look at a lot of, like I look at a lot of stay-at-home moms, right? And I go, please don't take offense to this, but there's a good portion of stay-at-home moms that are just like, they don't do a lot, you know what I mean? But like her, she plots out every single day. Like, literally, this kid's going to the park. He's going
mm-hmm.
to like dinosaur exhibits and to like swimming lessons and to the beach and to it's nuts.
Yeah, man. I get one day. Go to soccer. We took him to the Disney store yesterday because I don't know who taught him what Mickey Mouse is, but he can't stop saying Mickey Mouse. Like he's got like some of his pull-ups or whatever. He's into pull-ups now, Bobby. He's a big boy. And there's Mickey Mouse and there's cars. So when he tells us that he wants to change his pull-ups, he goes cars or Mickey Mouse. And so he's been saying Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. So I took him to the Disney store and he picked out a little plushie, and it was a good time. Then he said he was hungry, and then he didn't eat any food. So I'm a bad dad. But Chelsea, she rocks, man. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because I'm a grumpy pants most of the time.
Most of the time,
puts up with it.
And I don't know how she does it, because I would punch you in the throat.
Especially because I jump on here and I'm like, hey everybody, yay! Yeah. She's like, oh shit.
She's like, she's like, Sean, why can't I be married to that guy there?
Yeah.
Why do I get this guy sitting here on the couch like crying?
Oh yeah, not sitting on the couch. Let's just be clear. So yesterday, I'm mowing the lawn, and I don't have enough time to like perfect it like I used to. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing the rushest job of taking care of the lawn and everything, and there's rough edges around. I don't have time to go back with the weed whackers and stuff, and it's just like it gets me a little upset. You know, it does, like I've put in the time to do the stuff, and it doesn't look as good as I like it. I like it perfect. It's not perfect, and it gets me a little grumpy, Bobby.
I appreciate that. I can totally appreciate that.
I need your landscapers to swing on by.
You don't need my landscapers.
Oh no!
They totally screwed me last week.
Oh, did they really?
They ran over my power cord from my car.
Come on!
Cut it in half.
Are they 12 years old?
$980 this thing costs.
Why?
The power cord?
Yeah.
Because it's a special adapter and stuff. It's expensive.
Like for your Prius?
For my Prius.
Because it's a hybrid? Is that...
This is a hybrid.
I'm thinking, like, why would you have like a block heater? It's summertime.
No, and it's got like a transformer built into the core. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah,
nice.
It's oof. So now we gotta figure out how that's gonna get paid for.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
man, you know what? Things were going too well for you, Bobby.
Yeah, what? Well, no, last week was a bad week. That's why.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, how's your heart?
Dude, that's the other thing I want to do.
Okay, before you do that, I lost a tooth this week. On Thursday night, my little crown popped off in the middle of dinner time. So I'm chewing food, and all of a sudden it's just like, I don't have a tooth there. Like it looked like, well, I sort of did because it's all shaved down and everything. It's disgusting. It looks like I'm a meth addict just on one tooth though. So that's no good, man. But I was thinking of you because I had to go to the dentist first thing the next morning, and they had to freeze it all up and everything, and it was awful.
That's good though.
Stab me with those needles and whatever. Shave it down more.
I want to. My next shout out is to you, Sean.
Oh, thank you.
There's a couple of reasons why. When I came to you last week or whatever, when I was having issues, and I said to you like, "Hey man, I just can't get a grip on what's going on," and he's like, "Dude, I don't understand. You put all this passion into your content, and you focus so hard on that. Just put that same passion into your weight loss journey." And I've changed my mind. Like, I've literally done that. Like, seriously.
Yay.
And 1 week, down 9.8 pounds.
You look good. You're down 9.8 pounds?
Yeah, man.
Call it 10. Call it 10.
Yeah.
It's 10 by now.
It's 10. So, but I'm hyped. Like, I'm literally every single day tracking, using the app, not even thinking about it. Just go to work, take vegetables with me to work, eat the vegetables, come home, eat chicken, whatever vegetable I want, whatever it is. I eat ice cream. These things called Halo Tops are amazing. I eat them. I eat a pint of ice cream.
Nice.
And it's not even like a pint of Ben and Jerry's. It's like 50 something points. A pint of Halo Tops is 10.
Yeah, man.
So I'm like, you're good. I saved the 10 points.
What a huge difference.
It's dude, and I'm telling you, man, I feel better.
You look great.
1 week, I
actually look
better.
Like you lost weight.
Thank you. When
do you get your blood pressure checked again?
So the 28th, I go back for my dentist appointment. The 28th, I'll get it checked then.
You're gonna be good, man.
I'm more than sure I'm good at this point. I've cut my coffee back. I eat breakfast every morning. I get eggs and bacon and some toast, and like I'm eating normal foods, still losing weight. That's the biggest thing. Like people kept going like, "Oh, you gotta go on keto. You gotta go on it." No, man, I'm just doing normal stuff.
Yeah, man.
But truthfully too, like, thank you for the people that reached out to me last week. That meant the world to me. That you guys all just grouped around me and was like, "Hey, you got this. We're here with you." Thank you for like just putting me in check. Like, I keep trying to come back and do content, and you're like, "Dude, just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Just relax.
It's all good, man.
And that's the thing. Like, people are. I am changing course of path. I will have an update video going up this week of exactly what I'm going to be doing. But I feel energized.
Can I say something about that video, whatever it's going to be? Like, don't feel beholden to like a forever schedule. Sometimes, like, I see this quite often where everybody, we put out an update, and I've probably done this as well. It's like, all right, I know things have been crazy, but here's the schedule from here on out. Just here's what we're gonna do for the next little bit. Like, that's totally fine. It's totally unreasonable for you to have to set anything for like infinity.
Yeah. No, and I think the update video is going to be more of like echoing what I said on the podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have different viewers. I have podcasts, and then I have YouTube video people.
For sure.
So I want to go over there and kind of explain to them what's going on as well, so they get an idea of where we're at. And just so they're not feeling like, where the hell has he been? You know, what's going on? Like, you know. So ultimately, like, that's where
staying alive, man. That's where you're at. And
I'm going to start streaming more. So real quick before we jump, like, are you doing Mixer?
I don't know, man. I put up a tweet and it's winning. I said, should I move to Mixer? Yes or no? And yes is winning by a lot. And so I was like, okay, well, that, like, words are cheap. Right afterwards I said, if you click yes, follow on mixer.com/Sean Capri, and people are following over there, man. Like, I haven't even streamed over there, and it's starting to grow up there. So a couple things of why I'm considering this. Number one, it looks like they're not even going to have like an affiliate program over there, where Twitch, you have to reach certain goals, and then you can start earning bits and other sort of like money making kind of things over there. And I don't make a ton of money on Twitch. Like, it's maybe $80 every half a year. It's better than what I get over on Mixer. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But so if that happens over on Mixer, that's one thing. So if it kind of evens the playing field, and then I have a really sneaking suspicion that Microsoft is going to allow or give free subs to Xbox Live or Game Pass members, like Twitch does for, Amazon does for Prime members. Yeah. So if those two things, I feel like there's more of a streamlined process for Xbox to do that than people with Prime. Like, they don't really think of Twitch.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where I'm at, man. What about you? I like where Mixer's at in a lot of ways. I mean, but I'm at Twitch right now.
The thing that I like so they have their pros or cons, right?
Right.
I enjoy Twitch just because I'm in there, and it kind of gamifies streaming.
And I enjoy there because you're there, and like our friends are there, so we're all like the same.
So it's easy to do like hosting and raids and all that stuff. The one thing that has me like leaning, if they do what you're saying, where there is no affiliate program, you can start earning sparks and all that stuff right away. It's amazing. Like, they actually pay viewers to sit there and watch.
But Twitch just announced their sort of thing where it's just, I don't know what they called it. It wasn't sparks, but it was very similar. They're going into beta for it, for giving currency for people just watching. So, like, Mixer's changing it up, man. They're really changing the game, and they've really made Twitch, I think, a little bit better in terms of the latency. Like, that's gotten better ever since Mixer came around. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to make a decision one way or another, because I don't think people really enjoy my wavering.
I think the one thing, too... Well, I'm going to make a decision probably in the next 6 months of where I'm going, and where I go is where I'll go. Right now, I am going to stream on Twitch, just because I'm already set up there. Everything's good there. But the thing for me is I feel like the behind the scenes needs to fix with Twitch. Yeah. Like, when you literally have two sets of rules for, I'm just going to say it, for men and women, and women are literally beating up animals on streams and doing crazy stuff, and nothing happens to them, and a dude walks into a bathroom with a camera and gets a 1-month ban, like, just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like, just to play devil's, I agree with you, and to play devil's advocate for anybody else screaming on the Mixer side, is Mixer seems to have a lot of rules just for women in terms of what you can wear. So I just want to balance it out there.
Okay, so then you want to go over.
I mean, I don't know how to handle that, man.
But here's the thing: in the world of, you know, in us, like, a guy can't take his shirt off. You can't take your shirt off on Twitch, but you got girls that are literally like, there's a girl that's always trending, always up top. All she has to do is just go to Twitch.
Is she the ASMR girl?
Yeah. And she's literally like barely clad, playing Just Dance, jumping around, and it's like, holy crap, dude! Like, this is a cam girl. This is what it boils down to, and to me, that's really not okay. I just don't. I feel like you have different sets of rules, and it needs to. And I think that's part of where people are just like, hey man, what is going on here? Like, why is this happening? And this is why they feel like Ninja kind of jumped. And I don't know if that's really truly the case.
No, it's money.
I think it's the dump truck.
I think it was
cash and Microsoft backed up to his front door and dumped on his front lawn. I don't blame the guy, because I mean, I think we all would.
Well,
honestly.
and that's kind of where I'm at with the streaming, not in terms of like the dump truck, but like I can't focus on all the things that I can't control. Like, and it's all going to be like, things are going to be messy on other people's channels, on any platform. Like, I can't do anything about that. So it's really just got to be, is it a good fit? Is it good? Like, do I like the tech and everything? The one thing I don't like about Mixer is the mobile app. I often watch, like, Luke Lore is probably my #1 Mixer streamer, at Insipid Ghost. And I don't like the app. I don't know what it is, dude. So I got to think about it a little bit more. And then weighing out the pros and cons of, like, restreaming. Like, why wouldn't I just be in both places? But then I'm splitting audiences.
You're not allowed to.
Well, I do. So
I know you do, but like
I'm too small for them to notice.
With the Twitter and the Twitch thing, I don't.
Sometimes I'm on Mixer, and sometimes.
Well, what I'm saying is you can get yourself in trouble with that. Like, there is affiliate. Like, you can just lose your affiliate program. Mm-hmm. If they ever started to enforce that, we would all be in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. But it's whatever. I think they realize that, like, it's like, for me, Twitter and Twitch, that's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. The one thing I will say I love about Mixer is they have that one channel. It's like the highlight channel. Mm-hmm. And basically it like zooms in on certain things. So if you're playing Fortnite, they have a Fortnite one.
Yeah.
And it's only top 10 people. That's it.
Yeah, the hype zone.
The hype zone. Yeah. So you slip into the top 10 and it literally just focuses on your channel. Mm-hmm. And if you win or die, boom, it moves to the next person.
Bobby, can I talk about the hype zone for a second before we really get into things here?
You might have been on it or something?
I was on the hype zone. Don't tell Luke Lore, but I was on the hype. So we went to. I don't even know what the hype zone was before this, by the way. So Luke is the Mixer streamer. I don't even play Apex. I don't stream on Mixer. And we're playing Apex at E3, and they've got this big Mixer setup and everything. And then they've got the hype zone, the big screens in front of everybody who's there. They've got like maybe 5 people who can be in the hype zone. And your boy gets top 5, and all of a sudden this like announcer guy pulls up next to me with a microphone, and he's like doing play-by-play on what I'm up to, and my face is up on the big screen. I'm on the hype zone, and Luke is losing his mind behind me, like, you can't believe you're in the hype zone. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I accidentally got into the hype zone. It's like the biggest deal for him, and I don't know 2 things about it, dude. So there, hype zone's pretty sweet deal, man.
There you go. So there you go. But I like that idea. It's kind of like the NFL Red Zone. Well,
that's right. That's right.
That would be cool if they did for Mario Kart, but they have the NFL Red Zone where, like, literally every time a team is about to score,
within the 20-yard line.
Within the 20-yard line, they're in the red zone. They basically get, and then if nobody is, they just put a game on.
Yeah,
but the minute somebody goes in, boom! It's the best way to watch football.
Mm-hmm.
You just sit there and you can see every game, what's going on. It's phenomenal, man. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway. Let's jump into.
Oh no! Shout out to Mr. Moody. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Moody really quickly. He sent us a message in the Discord. He's been through a bit of a journey. I think he's had a bit of a wake up call, and I just wanted to say that we're with you. Thank you so much for sharing, man.
Yes.
And just everybody, take care of yourselves, guys. Everybody, like Kyle Stevenson, take care of yourself. Joseph Moran, take care of yourself. Donnie Reese, take care of yourself, guys. Let's get healthy together. Grouchie Serge is leading the way. You guys should be following Grouchie Serge as well, because he's doing some good stuff, man. He's inspiring a lot of people. So please, guys, we cannot start dropping off the face of the earth like flies out here, man. We gotta be healthy, be happy. Everybody, be good to yourselves.
Indeed.
That's it.
Okay, so if we ran Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that's the show.
Yes. There's a petition that just went up. And normally I just blow off petitions, but this one kind of caught my eye.
Okay.
And basically it is the Animal Crossing community wants Nintendo to allow cloud saves for Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who lost my town in New Leaf and had to start over from scratch,
damn shame,
after 200 hours of time, I personally would love to see cloud saves incorporated, or some way for me to back up my town. Even if you just say like, hey, you gotta do it on a computer. I don't care. Give me a way to back up my town.
And the reason that we are not going to be able to do this is because of cheating, because of time travel or whatever.
It's not time travel. It's they call it duping.
Oh, right, where you get the bells.
Where you
in both places.
duplicate, duplicate bells. So they're trying to avoid the cheating and all that stuff. Because honestly, like if you do dupe things and you do move across, you can actually get further along in the game quicker than other people.
Well, that's what cheating is.
Yeah, ultimately. So I understand it's a twofold process. I understand Nintendo's theory of it, but I also definitely understand the consumer's theory of it.
Absolutely.
So the petition is basically asking Nintendo to reconsider this. And I'm just saying, like, if we ran Nintendo, how would we react to this petition? And then just not this petition, but other petitions overall.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a slippery slope. You fall down. Nintendo already gets inundated, I'm sure, with these stupid petitions. Which honestly, if you're doing a petition about a video game, like, where are we at in our lives? Like, that's your worry in the world. Like, these petition things were set up for like major things, like, like hunger and things like that. Like,
world
important.
peace.
Not first world issue, like first world problems. Like, come on. But anyway,
maybe it's a gateway drug for people to. It's their on ramp to petitions. Maybe they start here and then they'll move on to petitions that matter. Well,
and maybe you occasionally petition a woman to name her child after you. That happens sometimes.
Did you actually create a petition?
Yes. Yes. I went to change.org and create a petition.
Dude, I was a fan of Bobby for Ellie. For the record, I liked it. I like Bobby as a girl's name, like with an I. Yeah. One of my favorite people in the world. Her name's actually Roberta, but she goes by Bobby. She's a sweetheart.
I'm really upset with Chelsea still.
Yeah.
So I take a shout out to
It's
Chelsea.
Not too late to change it though. People change their names all the time.
I was gonna call her Bobby when I see her. Every time I see her, I was gonna call her Bobby.
I should start doing that as well.
Oh,
people really think I hate my daughter.
You really would get kicked out. She'd kill you.
I crap all over her, dude. It's like, look at Lincoln. He can count to 50. What's this chick up to?
She's getting there. Come on.
I know. I'm just kidding.
She's just rolling all over the place still.
I know.
So,
all right, what were we talking? Petition stuff.
Okay, so petition stuff. And man, I would love to see Nintendo listen to this.
This particular is the one.
This is the one that actually has me like, yeah, we need this because it's not even just this.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
It's also for Pokemon. There's games that they're not allowing cloud saves for, and it just makes absolutely no sense.
Well, they're bending to that exception. They're bending to that like one instance of why they shouldn't be doing that. Is the cheating, and I think that's horrendous. I definitely think that they should be appeasing the masses who, by the way, don't really know how to cheat anyways. Like, when was the last time you even like looked up a cheat for a video game? It used to be a big deal, and it's probably because it's more for kids, and maybe that's where they're thinking the kids end up cheating. But I don't know. I don't think they look at their audience in that.
You want to cheat, you're gonna find a way.
I guess so.
If you want to break laws,
there's still a way to cheat in New Leaf. Right, like you could still do it. Like, I mean, time travel in and of itself is cheating.
Well, time travel, but the main thing was the duping was a matter of it was a Wi-Fi thing. Well, it had nothing to do with saving. I mean, they had power saves, which is a different program you put in to save the game. But another thing that brought it to my attention was the other day I was in Switch Village.
Oh yeah,
it's a Facebook group, and I'm in there, and someone said to me like, "Hey man, I want to transfer my stuff over to a new Switch. Does my data move over for Splatoon 2?"
Yeah. And
it made me think and go like, does it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, what happens if that
this is what I'm saying with the light
transfer goes bad and then he loses? You know what I mean? Like, it's scary, man.
I know. I'm talking like this is like early 2000 stuff, Bobby. Like these are the worries that we used to have like a couple decades ago.
Yeah.
And we're still here. Like, this is, people have been asking me a lot lately, like, how's it for Nintendo going? Because, like, Nintendo's doing pretty well. And there's not a whole lot left to fix. This is a pretty big area, man. And it's really frustrating. And if we were at Nintendo, we see a petition like this, I think we automatically kind of just go like, whatever, it's a petition. Yeah. But what happens when, like, the game is going to sell no matter what? Like, that's the thing that we can bitch and complain especially as Nintendo fans. We're going to be buying this game no matter what. Yeah. So, like, it's worth saying. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. That would make for such a better experience. And maybe it gets stocked in reviews. Maybe that's part of the journey that starts here. That, like, when does Nintendo start to get hit on a commentary front from people talking about their games that doesn't have the features that matter? Like, when PlayStation and Microsoft started with this generation, and you had like 1080p versus 900p, which is, by the way, barely a difference. And it was like, it might have been a world of difference, the way people were talking about it. There's differences in Nintendo games that really we just kind of glance over, and they still sell. We don't really talk about them. So at what point do these start to really hit? And at what point does Nintendo worry about that?
I think what I want to do is, I want to do a tweet from If We Ran Nintendo. And I want to tweet at Doug Bowser.
Okay.
And Bill Trinham.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, hey guys, if we ran Nintendo, we would allow cloud saves in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And if you're listening right now, I want you to retweet that tweet. And maybe we get something. I doubt we will, but it'd be nice if we got a lot of.
It's way better than petition.
It's better than petition, because then it's us talking volumes. And people just go like, hey, wow, this is crazy. Maybe there's something to this. And then they take a harder look at it, because it just seems that every game that you can cheat with the saves are the games that they're not allowing cloud saves. Pokemon, Splatoon, and now Animal Crossing.
But these are the games that should exist across multiple devices, that you need that. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like the pros outweigh the cons so much. Like, for you to be able to go from this Switch, if I'm playing here or streaming, and then to be able to go on the bus and continue playing Animal Crossing on my Switch Lite, like, that is a huge reason I'm probably not going to get one. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. And maybe, I don't know, that will never show up in the data, though. That will never show up in the sales. Well, because
a couple weeks ago, I reached out to Nintendo and asked them about this specific thing, because I was looking at this specific thing. Like, Doug Bowser came out and said, hey, you'll be able to, like, pick up your Switch Lite and go and continue your missions on Breath of the Wild and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what about Animal Crossing?
What about Animal Crossing?
So I reached out to Nintendo, and Nintendo basically vaguely did their Nintendo thing where they said, like, yes, you can certain games, and then it was just like, okay, that's telling me that no. You're not specifically saying no, but you are saying no.
Yeah.
And it's a little disheartening to me anyway, when I think about it. Like, I experienced loss after 200 hours. That's a lot of time.
Okay, now remembering when cloud saves, I think, first came up, and I made a huge deal. I'm like, I don't think I want to play my Switch anymore. And I maybe that was a little too far, but you and Toby came after me, made fun of me a lot about what's the big deal about cloud saves, and now here we are. This biggest thing was for me, because I play my Xbox games across multiple devices even within this house, and it's really important for me, and PlayStation as well. It's really important for me to be able to pick up and play. Now here we are, where a second Switch is about to come into people's lives in a big bad way, but the experience is going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Yeah. So if Nintendo is bigger than this petition, if we want to make that Switch Lite a good experience for people, then we have to listen to this petition.
Yeah. I think for me, where it started to where I actually started utilizing cloud technology was Hulu. And I literally will bounce between 4 different devices. Like, my bedroom has Hulu built into the TV, my living room has Hulu, and then my Switch. And I literally will be either watching Catfish or America's Got Talent, and I'm like bouncing from TV to TV to TV, because I don't want to sit in one particular, and I just shut it off, go pick up and do something in another room. I'm like, oh, let me pick up where I was. And I turn it back on and start watching again. And it's crazy to me that, like, I can do that with something as simple as a television app.
Right.
But yet a game which would benefit greatly from it, I can't. And that bothers me.
Well, and the juxtaposition is going to become even more clear in November when people get their hands on Stadia, where you can play a game literally from your phone to your laptop to your TV and just go like bounce, bounce, bounce. And like the comparison, I think, is apt, but it's even more a strong comparison when you look at what Stadia is about to do. So Nintendo's going to have the situation where they're not going to be able to do it, and it actually creates a bit of a situation for Stadia where they're like, well, you guys are all upset about that over there. Look how easy it is, like ingrained in the DNA of how Stadia works. So Nintendo continues to kind of like fight progression and the future and kind of dig its heels in and be that way. Well, Google's got like it creates an easy in for a product I think that's having a really difficult time trying to gain any traction. And it just goes like, look at these guys, they're not doing such a good job with it, and this is what we do. So it allows a competitor even into the market. So this is way bigger than just a silly petition. It starts to gain momentum, I think, Bobby.
Well, the thing for me in particular, is the ability of how easy it is for the Switch to jump in and out of games.
Right. Yeah,
I
look
will
how
tell you
great
right
that
now,
is.
it is the best console on the market in those terms.
Totally.
In terms of the quickness to jump in and out of games is like that.
Big
And
time.
that was the whole process of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of like, you could make it like that between me picking up my Switch Lite and playing a Switch game or my OG Switch. And that to me is something that Nintendo needs to look at to further the abilities. Because I got news for you. When someone is able to do it with Breath of the Wild, because that's always the litmus test. It's always Breath of the Wild. That's where we throw stuff to. If I can do it with Breath of the Wild, and then I can't do it with something as simple as Animal Crossing, you're going to have people upset.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to avoid moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So in my particular idea is, I think you take the petitions case by case. Obviously, if it gains so much traction, then at that point you go. But I think that people need to kind of start tweeting, and they do, and I'm not acting like they don't, but like legitimate things, tweet at Nintendo and try to, if we just get a group of people to go behind it and push, I think it works a little better. But it also comes off as you're crying and pissing and moaning, and I think that some things do warrant you to cry about, you know what I mean?
Well, one of the things that this leads into maybe an actual solution that speaks to a lot of the issues that we talk about here. Way back when Phil Spencer first took over Xbox and everything was bad, and people were talking crap about Xbox on all platforms, on their blogs, on their podcasts, on Reddit, on everything. Anywhere people could spit out criticisms, they were doing that. And Phil Spencer was like, look, some of these are actually good ideas. Like this petition in this case maybe is actually a good idea. So what he did was he created this forum for people to go, we want your ideas. How do we make Xbox better, basically? And out of that came backwards compatibility. Out of that came a whole slew of things because they harnessed the community feedback. And I would actually like to see Nintendo do something very, very similar. Where it's not just, because you're right, like if you're doing anything but that, it's just people being, it sounds like you're being a crybaby. It sounds like you're being entitled gamers, and you're not really getting anywhere. Like you're tweeting about all these things and talking about them, but it doesn't really do anything because they're not listening to all those places. It's too many places. So I would really like to see Nintendo do something like that because their sales are doing really well right now. They're giving us the games that we want, but at the turn of a dime, which is not a turn of phrase, people can turn on Nintendo because we've seen it before. And so maybe just to get ahead of that, I would like to see them have give us your thoughts and your ideas. And there's a good ranking system with that came along with it, Bobby.
Real quickly, we're going to move into the next topic, and I don't think we want to spend a lot of time on this particular topic. But it's something I wanted to bring up. And if we were at Nintendo, would we take actions against Genchin Impact? It's the Breath of the Wild clone that's coming out. And it's I've never seen a game. I've seen mobile games do this all the time. I've never seen a game come out that just, it feels like it just ripped stuff completely out of one game and was like, we're just going to take it and make it our own. The climbing aspects, the way you wake up on the shore, like that's a whole like
even whatever the lady there who is a lot like Zelda is saying that like the name twice, and it's just like wake up, like Link,
and then
Link, wake up.
The little goblin camps, and dude, even they didn't show it in that trailer I showed you, but there's moments where you're playing, and it's real like the piano keys that slowly play in the background.
The background music. Oh yeah,
that. And like you watch that original trailer, dude, if that's not a Breath of the Wild ripoff, like the moments he's climbing the building and then the way the camera pans and zooms around the world and like when the climatic moment happens, the fights feel and look real. It's like they basically stole beat for beat across the board on it.
You start on the Great Mountain instead of the Great Plateau. I don't know. That's made up. It
No,
looks
like,
good. Can I just say though, Bobby? It looks good. I kind of want to buy it. I want to buy it.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good. That's not the thing. I guess the question is what do you do in this situation if you're Nintendo? And I don't know whether or not a lawsuit is viable or not. I mean, but they sue everybody under the sun for everything as it is. I don't think they would win this lawsuit at all.
No.
Because video game stuff is very tricky when it comes to lawsuits like that. So it's different. I don't think Nintendo does anything in this case. I think they hope the game doesn't sell well, and then just move on from there. But even like the coloring tones, like this is just, to me, just a blatant, like, we're just gonna steal stuff from you guys. And
well, there's the old saying of like, you don't get mad, you get even. So what exactly does that it's not a lawsuit. Do you?
Well, Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2 is maybe it, or maybe there's a way to like adopt some of the things that there's probably a couple things that this game maybe does new or unique or something different that people actually like.
I'm sure.
So just take those and be like, well, if you guys were going to copy us, and we obviously have the better like basis for the game. It's Zelda, for God's sake. So take some, like, maybe we just want some dragons, because I think that's what I saw in there that looked kind of interesting.
Dragons.
I like some dragons, man.
I think the thing that has the Nintendo community up in arms is the fact that it's a PS4 exclusive. They thought, like, hey, if I could play this one, it's a PS4 exclusive.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, so I think that's where people are just like, hey, like, why is this strictly over there? Like, you're stealing Nintendo stuff. It should come over here so we can play.
It should be a Vita exclusive. We should have it on the Vita.
I don't think it would run on the Vita, that piece of garbage.
Oh, snap.
But I don't know. I think that Nintendo doesn't do anything. I think that's the question. I think a lot of people are saying, like, oh, when does Nintendo... I don't think they do it all.
Yeah.
I think they just let it happen. There's nothing they can do. They will never win that lawsuit.
No, well, we're starting to see this other Decay of Logos, I think it's called. There's another game that looks quite a lot like Breath of the Wild. So now we're a couple of years out from when the Switch launched with Zelda, and we always knew that there was going to be an influence. We knew from that day, like, this changes things a little bit. And I don't know if that expected it quite this quickly, but this is like the Grand Theft Auto effect on open world games, where you had like Saints Row and everything became open world. So maybe this is just the start of it, man. Maybe.
And the thing of it is, for the people that are screaming like Nintendo needs to sue, and Nintendo, listen, they don't. If they sue for this, then did they sue Blossom Tales for the top-down Zelda type stuff?
Yeah.
Do they sue like It'll do, like, like, at what point do you draw the line?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Where, like, and how do you tell if it's like an homage, or if there's like a loving tribute, which I think Blossom Tales and some of those games are. They're like they're pretty open and honest, but like, we love those games, and maybe it's because there's more time removed that, like, it's if Nintendo's not going to make that game for you, then we will. But in this case, Nintendo literally just made it and it's still selling. So maybe that's some of the differences that are making people upset. But I don't know, man. Maybe the way that even this game could curb some of that is just going like, look, we love Breath of the Wild, and just be completely open and honest about the influence there.
Yes, I agree. Okay, Sean. So we changed something up.
Oh yes, we did.
And I think we want to, at this point,
we're gonna make it better
a little bit. So the next two topics, they're powered by Patreon. So you two can submit topics over on patreon.com/YouMeetCapri for as little as $1 a month. So what we did was, we used to, like, basically break off and go to a special topic that would air over there, and you got it if you were a Patreon. We had like two different feeds we had going on. We're done with that. We're gonna basically make one show. It's gonna be one show all the time. The topics that are given over on Patreon will be done here with everybody. The exclusivity is you guys still get the show a day, well, actually 2 days before everybody else does.
Right.
So that's the one thing we thought about. And I thought, too, like, I want to kind of give some credit in a better way to people, because there were some great topics that were kind of hidden behind the paywall, and I don't want to do that. That's the one thing that we never did and make us better. We have stuff that is behind the paywall over here, your Patreon, Pants Patreon podcast, and then You Meet Capri, the podcast we do once a month. Those things are kind of behind the paywalls, and that's the way I want to keep those.
Okay.
But this
I was going to
one,
say, I'd be even open for discussion for that too, but that's a whole other topic.
We'll leave that. That's another topic of the day. Who knows? But the thing is with this, I wanted to kind of break the wall down, so to speak. You know what I mean? As Donald Trump's trying to build walls, we're trying to break them down.
We got the Canadian Chris Jericho breaking them down. What's up?
So, first topic, Grouchie Serge. Should Nintendo expand brick and mortar store locations and add a few more across North America? I think we all realized there was a change when they went from Nintendo World Store that was in New York to Nintendo New York. We talked about this. We actually did an episode years ago where we discussed, like, where would we take the stores next. The idea was they put one in Israel, I believe. They put one in Japan. they're definitely going to move more. I think we're definitely going to get 2 right off Jump Street. We're going to get one in Florida at Universal. We're going to get one in California in Universal. I think those are going to be the pillars. Like wherever Universals are, they're definitely getting stores. But it also kind of stinks that like I have to pay money to go into a park.
I don't like
to
that
then
being
buy
the only
stuff.
one. Because the whole place is a tribute to Nintendo. Like you need something separate from that. Like something that you can still go. Like imagine if there was a park in. Imagine if it was like built into some paid park in New York City. That's no good, man. It's got to be something separate.
I agree. But I just think that those are going to be the definite places you're going to get them.
But I just think of like gift stores. They don't feel special. They're just yet another gift store. It's not like anything like really. Even though there's a lot of exclusivity and exclusive stuff at gift stores. It's just different, man. It's just like this is at the tail end of a ride kind of thing, or on your way out. It always feels like an afterthought in that way, and try to milk you for what you're worth. Like the main drive is the experience that you get at Nintendo World or Nintendo New York. Yeah. I would like that more. So do you want to look at a couple cities that you would drop those into?
I mean, I think it's real simple. I think it's real simple. I mean, you go California.
Yeah.
Some place in California, either LA or San Diego. I'd probably put one in San Diego, very close to the convention centers. You know, because you think about like all the conventions, the Comic Cons and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if there's a retail area that would be
just another middle finger over to E3, right? Just get away from LA where E3 is. Pretty
much. Yeah. But I would do one in LA. But I'm just thinking like, where do you? So my thing is either San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. Yep. One of those would be definitely get one.
Yep. Seattle.
Seattle already has one.
Do they really?
Nintendo store. Yeah, the Nintendo. When you go to the Nintendo offices, there's a store in there.
I haven't been there. There's so many people who live in Seattle. Like I say, Seattle, like it's around the corner. It's really far.
I don't think you can get in there. I think it's an employee only store.
Okay, well that's what I mean. Like let's do an actual like a Nintendo type of experience. Yeah.
Chicago, I would put one in the middle. You know what I mean? Put one in the Windy City. Windy City.
They often have stuff there. When they do like their tours and everything.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. And then I would do one. I would probably put one in Florida. What I would do is, man, and this would be a little tricky. I don't know if they can do this. I would probably put one in downtown Disney, where it's a big shopping center.
That's right.
And they actually just revamped it to be this upscale like shopping experience there. It's actually called Disney Springs now. It's not even called Downtown Disney. It's called Disney Springs. That to me would be like huge to me because at that point you're getting all these tourists that are going. And the nice thing about Disney Springs is it's not just park exclusive. People from the outside go there to shop and eat and all that stuff.
Right.
It's like a gigantic promenade mall. So I would put one there as well.
It would actually benefit both companies. Like it seems like it would be a ding against Disney, but it'd be like it would actually bring even more people. Like it's just an additional huge pull. It's so funny now that Lincoln has his Mickey Mouse and it goes right alongside Mario and Luigi. Like I've got a picture of him coming home and he's got his Mario and his Mickey Mouse. And I'm like, this is what Nintendo's after. Like literally having Mario on that same scale as Mickey Mouse, and it's hilarious, man.
Now, I think it would never happen.
Probably not.
Because Universal Studios is right there, and I'm sure they would put a block on that. I think they would not want that to happen. They would probably be like, the only way you get it is to come into our parks. I get that.
Well, you mentioned the gaming conventions. What about like Clone Germany with Gamescom coming up? And it's a huge. I'm starting to think like maybe that's the savior for gaming conventions. Like E3 is dying a death in front of us.
That is the biggest gaming convention in the world.
So where's
that
Nintendo?
Convention is they're there this year. They're doing a little indie spotlight.
I mean, like with a bricks and mortar kind of thing. Like,
But the question is, and I don't know the area that well. So to say like, hey, they should throw this in there, it might be like a desolate area that's just nothing.
I feel like that's everybody's perception of like a foreign country. They're like, because you don't know what it is, so obviously it's nothing. But they've got this giant convention center for like hundreds of thousands of people to come in, so it's got to be a pretty happening place. It's not like you just drop a convention center and then across the street it's nothing. It's just like forested area or something.
And but what I was saying with San Diego is you do that for Comic-Con, but like. I wouldn't put it there if there's nothing else there all year long. Like, Comic-Con goes and it blows it out, but what else happens there? And that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't put it there unless there's a big, like, would I put it there? Yes. If there's a shopping center, something big that happens all the time.
Yep.
In the United States, another one that I would do is in North Carolina. There is a massive in Charlotte, a massive shopping mall. Like this place is huge. They got like a Bass Pro Shops in this mall, and it's got huge fish tanks. Like they have full size Target in it. Like you go in the mall, you're inside, you're walking through, and then you go and there's a giant Target. You walk in, it's a full scale Target. Like it's nuts, this place. So, like it's like I think a mile. Like if you walk from one side of the mall to the other side of the mall, it's about a mile. It's huge.
I have to assume a mile is a long way. I'm not really sure.
It's it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like,
well, on that front, okay. So what's the Mall of America? Where is that? Minnesota.
That's Minnesota. Yeah.
So there's that West Edmonton Mall, which is in my backyard.
I don't want to put one in Minnesota because Todd Oxtra's from there.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want to keep them
just
alienated.
across.
Yeah.
Go roam New York.
There you go. Because we're going there.
That's right.
So yeah, that would be the ones that I would do.
Okay,
probably.
No Canadian cities, nothing. No Toronto, no Vancouver, anything.
He said well, he did say North America, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. He did say
I like the factory outlet malls outside of San Diego, which is like right on the border of Tijuana, which is insane. It's terrifying to go to, but maybe there's something there. But I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on where in the world should Nintendo be with a bricks and mortar store, like because it's got to be special too. But the one thing I did want to say when I saw this topic is that this is yet another thing that Microsoft should be doing. Or I'm sorry, Nintendo should be doing to copy Apple with their Apple stores, because that has been a huge success for them in the wake of retail stores just dying right in front of us. Somehow Apple stores are a big deal. So why isn't Nintendo kind of following suit? It's a big investment.
So let me ask you a question. Would you do mini stores like Apple stores and then have your bigger stores like Nintendo New York?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Because there's the flagship stores, which are a big deal. You can see them a mile away and they're destinations. But yeah, in terms of having like, how do you get in front of the mom and dads and the grandma and grandpas and everybody who still like to go to the mall and they hang out in the food court for 8 hours a day? Yeah, maybe there is something there, man. But I'm a little biased in that, like, I think retail is a joke at this point. Like, I really don't expect anything to really be around for much longer than 10 or 15 years. So it'd be tricky for me to say, like, yeah, go put Nintendo in malls and things like that.
I think the problem, or where Nintendo needs to be cautious to some degree, is we're in a situation where a brick and mortar store can completely debacle a company.
Right.
And I think that's where Nintendo's being conservative and handpicking where they put them and keeping it kind of exclusive. I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go balls to the wall. If I was to put them in United States, I probably would add 2 more stores.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're going to get them 2 stores, and that's going to be it. So it sounds like you're going to get California and Florida, and that would create a triangle, and that's all you need.
That's where
my mind.
That's where the kid from The Wizard wanted to go. He's like, California, he wanted to go to the Nintendo store. But they went to the T-Rex instead. If
we did put one in Canada, where do you being the expert of Canadian?
I mean, it's such a boring answer. It's probably like Toronto and Vancouver. But like truly, like Vancouver, like those cities are world-class cities. Like they're really incredible, and you
I
should
thought
go.
Quebec was the best city.
No, it's not the best city. We barely even talk about Quebec. Like they can't even enter. You know, when you have like sweepstakes and stuff, it's like open to all residents of Canada except for people in Quebec. Like it's like that. Like it's. Yeah. So yeah, probably Vancouver, Toronto, but yeah, nothing really. I don't know. Nothing really crazy. But you could do around like the sports stuff, like around the hockey arenas would be the big deal. That's how you do it.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, final topic coming from Todd Oxtra. With Nintendo on the verge of announcing SNES games coming to the Nintendo Online, do you think this essentially kills the Virtual Console? What ways would you preserve the N64 games through the Wii games so that they aren't trapped on dead systems? I think we touched on this a little bit last week with the idea of, I would just basically allow people to buy games that are, I would create a virtual console, and basically you give away your like we determined it as you do your regular games. I think I'm not answering this properly. I feel like Nintendo Online games are different than virtual console games, and I think we need to get it out of our mind that they're the same thing. The Nintendo Online games are built for multiplayer. They're built for online. They're built for that whole experience of passing the controller, multiplayer online.
Mm-hmm.
Like games like Tecmo Bowl, you never had online play before. You have that now. Games like Zelda, original Zelda, where you could pass the controller from someone that's a virtual buddy, someone that's across the country, across the world. You could pass that controller and say, hey, I'm stuck on this part. You take it.
Yeah.
That's the experience of Nintendo Online. I don't feel like anything that they're doing with the Nintendo Online kills the virtual console. What kills the virtual console is the fact they're not doing a virtual console. And I feel like what Nintendo needs to do is create a virtual console and still have your Nintendo Online stuff. And what I would essentially do is maybe enclose and, suck up that Nintendo Online and open it up to like a Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the games you get for free every month. These are the games you don't have to pay for every month. But here's games that you can buy and have offline. Because the thing is if you have Nintendo, if you don't have Nintendo Online, you can't play any of those games. So basically, I would say like, okay, you don't want to play those, or you want to play those games, but you don't want to buy a Nintendo Online. Well, you can buy these games for X amount of dollars.
Well, that's what you have on Xbox with the backwards compatibility stuff. Like you get the 2 free games from Xbox 360 with games with gold, and then you have Game Pass, or you can just buy the game straight out. So I think that's where I would really like to see them go. But I think Todd's topic comes from the fact that we see these Super Nintendo controllers pop up, or was it a patent or something? Like it's pretty much going to happen. So it's similar to the NES controllers that were launched alongside Switch Online last year. So that's why the assumption is that these things are coming. I don't know, man. Like I obviously don't like the way that they even roll out the games. Like it's 2 at a time. The rollout or the launch lineup was sort of underwhelming, and it's like, wait, there's more coming, and then that was underwhelming. So I obviously would like to see them do a little bit of that, but I don't know, man. I think it is a replacement for Virtual Console, because I think they overreacted to people like me saying, I don't want to buy this game over and over again. They're like, okay, we won't make you buy these games over and over again. We'll do this streaming service. And it's like, I don't really like that either. So now I'm an entitled gamer in a way. Like choice is really what I'm looking for. It's not necessarily like a single solution over the other, because you're never going to appease everybody in that way. But then like, how do we, if this is what's going to happen, how do we treasure the memories and preserve the other games that aren't yet coming to this online, this streaming service? So Wii games, GameCube, N64, and to me, I think the answer is somewhat obvious, but I'm not sure if you'd given it some thought.
Go ahead.
Okay, so for me, it's the classic editions. Like that's, and I feel like this just further reinforces that this has been the plan the entire time. For them, when Reggie came out, rest in peace, he's still alive. He just doesn't work for Nintendo anymore. When he's like, we're gonna really lock in on nostalgia with the Switch, I think that this is how they're doing it with the streaming stuff, with NES Online, and now with the Super Nintendo games. And then you're able to go buy these classic edition consoles. I think that's how you do both, and I don't think people are gonna be stoked about it. But I think that's what we're gonna be facing for the next little bit here.
I don't know, man.
I know you're not happy about it.
No, but I'm not a fan of, like, if I don't know. It's I'm not a fan of the N64 now. Like,
so you don't even care if we do preserve the memory.
I can care. If they put out an N64 classic, I'll buy it just for my shelf. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
I won't buy it to play. I know, but I won't buy it to play the games because I don't feel like those games hold up.
Well, that's why they don't have a virtual console. Maybe that's part of the reason, is because you don't really care about some of those games. And maybe that's what they saw with the Wii and the Wii U, is that at a certain point, people just stopped buying those games. Yeah. You gotta wonder, like that Wii, the original version of it on the Wii had some crazy selection on there. And you're like, what are some of these games and the effort and the licensing and everything else that they'd have to go through? Like you see a lot of struggling on Xbox's side to really, or even the PlayStation 1 Classic, for God's sakes. Like licensing, I think, is even trickier than any of us could ever imagine. So maybe that's driving a lot of this here, and I don't think it's really part of the conversation when people bitch and complain about what we're getting.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that there's got to be a way. Like, there's got to be something. And it's weird because we're in this thing where, and I think working for a TUI now, I get a little bit of an inside feel for this. People just think that, like, you should snap your fingers and that should get worked on along with this, and you don't realize. You start to see like Nintendo is limited in resources.
Like people,
there's
like
only so much they can do. Yeah,
who's going to work on this? Like literally.
Yeah, and like we want this to get fixed, but like there's other priorities. And it's like, I mean, guys, it took Sony what 15 years to be able to change your name on a console. You know what I mean? Like, and it's still not perfect.
Yeah,
it's still, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so
there's always reasons they're holding it up.
Yeah, and so it's one of these situations of we want the virtual console. But maybe like you said, maybe the complaints that were coming out when the Switch was coming, because it was very voiced. You know, you had Brian Altano screaming and this and that. I think we got what we wanted. You know what I mean? And
maybe.
Everybody. When I say we, I mean the little babies like Sean over there.
We just wanted backwards compatibility in that sense.
No, I just wanted games.
We just wanted our games to carry over like they had on PC from day one and how they do on Xbox now, man.
This isn't. Stop it.
3 generations of Xbox, all right, on the same console.
But you stop it.
It's going to be the same for the next generation. Look, man, these things matter.
Listen.
Especially for Nintendo. Like, who cares about old Xbox games? I care about old Nintendo games. Like, why do I have the feature on this system? Which is, like, it's great. Trust me. I love it, the fact that it's over there on Xbox. But holy crap. It's way more powerful, way more important on Nintendo. They've got to figure this out, dude. I don't like it.
It's whatever. They're not... I think the thing that people don't recognize is the hardest part for Nintendo is they're not a tech company. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't their tech.
I don't buy it. I don't like it. Well, I don't know, man.
I
think they sell a lot of tech.
Yes, they sell a lot of tech, but at the end of the day, like, that's not Nintendo making that.
Look how much tech is in this Joy-Con. They got the infrared cameras. They got the HD rumble. They got all this tech. It's tons of tech.
You're trying to screw it up, and
little bit.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're being a bastard right now, because that's not Nintendo making that. That's Nintendo going to NVIDIA. And NVIDIA's patents and all that stuff.
Well, I don't care what they have to go to figure this out.
But what I'm saying is like when they make stuff, Microsoft makes it. Microsoft owns the patents. Microsoft does all the stuff. There's engineers there. There's not engineers at Nintendo creating this stuff. There's a group of people in R&D that are looking at different. They're just looking at different people's stuff and going, we pull some of this, we pull some of this, we put it together, boom, it creates.
I want to hear Todd's comments on this. I'd like to. This is where I just wish we could just like snap our fingers and have like the Great Gazoo just like show up and just like float above us for a little bit for a quick comment. Like Justin Masson, if you could just like drop in right now and just give your two cents on here. We got to figure out the technology there. Like if we could have like phone a friend, we should have that ready for future episodes.
Oh,
like,
so there you go. You're wanting to, you know.
I just think it would add to like a little mix up to the show. Like look, Justin Masson will record at 6:30 in the morning. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So be on the ready, guys. We're gonna have a third window for the video all set up. We're gonna drop in somebody else on the call, and we just get them up to date. Remember after the Switch whatever reveal on January 12th in 2017.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening.
I didn't even talk about all the old Kirby games we can't talk about.
We're not
can't play.
That, so. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Episode 163 is now in the books. You can check out everything that Sean Capri is doing over on the internet. Go over to Twitter, Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the Pants. Check him out over on twitch.com, twitch.tv/Sean Capri.
Nailed it.
Sean Capri. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter,
you me Capri.
at Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
I had something to say and I can't remember what it is. So, 164. Next episode, 164. Let's do something for Nintendo 64.
No.
Okay.